Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is our NXT review. And this is the go-home show before TakeOver Brooklyn 4 this Saturday. And this is also the go-home TwitWoW before preview and predictions tomorrow night and our live reactions this weekend. And I gotta say, as far as NXT goes tonight, it really did its job. I thought this was such a solid go-home show and so strong that it achieved its objective in getting me more hyped for Brooklyn 4. I'm kind of chomping at the bit for this show this weekend, to be honest. I think they're going to knock it out of the park the way that we've come to expect of takeovers. And yeah, I really like the video packages. Even some of the matches we got tonight were solid, especially the main event. And yeah, just nothing but good things all around. Ashton, what do you think of tonight's NXT?
I mean, you say especially the main event, and I agree the main event was great, but I think that the one women's match that we got tonight, just from a pure character perspective, was some great stuff as well, man. This was a really strong episode of NXT, and this marks the 8th out of 10 possible times this season of Lucha Underground that I have felt like NXT put on a stronger show. NXT has been on an absolute roll this season of Lucha Underground, and I only use that comparison because it's the whole Wednesday Night War thing, and for the longest time, LU was just dominating NXT every week, from my perspective at least. And now for season 4 of Lucha Underground, I feel like LU has taken a bit of a step back, and the whole time NXT has been strong as hell. And this episode of NXT was no different. It was a great episode, and we had 3 matches, and I didn't hate any of them. They were all pretty good to great, like you mentioned with the strong bait match, our main event. And we had a bunch of video packages. Every single takeover match got hyped, whether by match or by video package. And that's perfect because this was the go-home show, and the show's in 3 days. So they did an amazing job with this go-home show. They did an amazing job hyping the takeover and just putting on a standalone show. It was a really good show. So yeah, man, this was great.
Absolutely, man. With that said, let's get to our first segment. Heat of the night. No heats of the night. Nothing but good vibes. I just want to celebrate this episode. What about you, partner?
Yeah, I'm definitely on the same lines for sure. This was a great episode. I couldn't think of any real flaws that weren't just like personal preference things.
Absolutely. So with that said, let us get right into our NXT review. And partner, how do we open this baby up?
With a recap of the whole Gargano Ciampa Black storyline. We got a recap of all of that, and then it concludes with us being able to see the story of Aleister Black being laid out after last week's episode of NXT. And we do get the news dropped on us that we will be getting Ciampa versus Gargano one-on-one, last man standing for the NXT title on Saturday at TakeOver Brooklyn 4.
Yes, we know that is now our main event. Of course, if you want our in-depth thoughts about that match, you'll have to wait till tomorrow for our NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 preview and predictions. We will be going live with that. What time are we going live with that, Ashton? Are we going live with that at 8?
I'm pretty sure it's at 8, but I will look just to be sure.
Yeah, and you all can follow Ashton on Twitter. His pinned tweet has the TwitWoW schedule, so you can get all the times for the latest TwitWoW recordings.
Yep, yeah, it's 8 o'clock tomorrow.
8 p.m. EDT for TakeOver Brooklyn 4 preview predictions. So yeah, great that we got that confirmed. What came after this, partner?
After the intro, we got our first match of the night. It's kind of a hot start here in the Full Sail Arena. We've got the Street Profits opening the show up, taking on the Mighty. Kind of a grudge match here, and it was a solid match. The Mighty did a really good job of isolating Angelo Dawkins and really kind of, bullying him and keeping him away from Montez Ford for most of the match. But as is inevitable, Montez Ford got that hot tag and ended up winning the match with it via a roll-up while grabbing the tights of Shane Thorne.
Yeah, man, I thought it was a pretty solid tag match. I'm loving the Mighty, as a heel team. Obviously, my bias lies with them. I've already spoken extensively about the Street Profits. I'm not going to waste anybody's time with that here. A good back and forth match. And the Street Profits cheating to get the win. You know what? I'm cool with it. it seems that all the teams that they screwed over in the past, the Mighty, it seems like, the karma's being collected, so to speak, which I guess I'm cool with for now, because in the end, I do hope it ends with the Mighty becoming NXT Tag Team Champions, but that remains to be seen. So a solid opener. It gives the Street Profits some momentum, which in turn keeps them relevant in the public mind, which I get why NXT would do that, because it's not just about one team. You do want to have a seemingly credible division. So I think they did that. I don't think the Mighty really suffers that much for this loss. Not much more I can say than that. Unless there's anything you want to add, we can move on.
All right, man. Well, after the first match, we got a little bit of information, finding out that we will find some, or not find some, but we will get some kind of a statement tonight from Velveteen Dream. He will be on tonight's show. And then also finding out that our main event will be Tyler Bate versus Roderick Strong. Then we see, before we kind of cut to a SummerSlam ad, we see Shayna Baszler talking to Aaliyah, who will be facing Kairi Sane tonight, and just kind of giving her pointers, it seems like. After this, we get an Undisputed Era promo, which was, as always, just greatness, because they talk about, in 3 days, they face Mustache Mountain again in Brooklyn, of all places. And O'Reilly can't even believe that Trent the Beast Severn calls himself 100%. He says that he's never been 100% a day in his life. And then they go on to say, if he's 100%, then we're what, 500-600% minimum? 1,000%? It was just so good. I love these guys and their fake white boy charisma. It's the best thing ever. And then they start talking shit about both Mustache Mountain, and then they also bring up War Raiders. But it's a great promo. I love them all. Cole asserts their dominance, and of course closes with the statement that it is their era, and that is undisputed.
I'm just going to copy paste not only everything you said, but everything I've been saying about the Undisputed Era, especially for the past month, because that hasn't changed. This was an amazing promo. The only kind of new detail I will add in the context of this promo, I feel like Bobby Fish has been really good just in this talking role. Like, not to say that he's not good in ring. I do enjoy him in ring.
That's the thing with Bobby Fish, is that he is a good talker and he is great in the ring. But for some reason, I just never really connected with him. I don't know what it is.
I just feel like something about this run that he's currently on, now it probably is just me and that's okay. I feel like he's got like this understated charisma in the group, because I love at the end when they're
all the eyebrows. It's the eyebrow play, I'm telling you.
Because like they did the hand sign, he's looking around, he's like, shit, they're doing the thing. But I got the Dusty Classic trophy. Eyebrows. And he does this amazing expression. And I'm like, I am living for you, Robert Pisces. I am so living for you.
And he's more Robert Pisces now than he's ever been, too.
I know, right? He knows. He's like 2 words, Undisputed Era, besides Undisputed Era, net worth. Yeah, eyebrows.
Yeah, eyebrows.
I freaking adore these guys. And like you, talking about how NXT's been outperforming Lucha, I love Johnny and I love Taya. Undisputed Era is still better than Worldwide Underground to me right now. I know like Johnny would be like, turn in your t-shirt, and I would do it very tearfully. But I just got to be honest. These guys are on another level right now. They really are. That's all I got to say about it. We can move on.
All right. So then we got our second match of the night, and this was Kairi Sane versus Aaliyah. Aaliyah lost some weight, man. She's really slimmed down. She's looking ripped. She's got 6-pack going on a little bit, and she's she's ripping it, shredding it up. Kairi, though, good Lord, this match was so good for her. Like, Aaliyah did a great job of making Kairi look like $100 million. And honestly, I also even have in my notes, Aaliyah is definitely improving, but I feel like she needs to go full heel. Like, she needs to embrace it. She needs to like go full like Vanessa Bourne, fuck the audience, fuck everyone, I'm amazing, worship me heel. And I think if she would do that, I think she would actually be one of the more compelling heels in NXT, and maybe even main roster ready at that point. We would have to see. So yeah, praise to both of these women. Kairi, though, the end of this match, like, Kairi's always amazing. She always has amazing matches. She carries women that you don't expect good matches out of 2 good matches. And I don't necessarily think that's what she did here, because I don't think she needed to here, but I also don't think that this match was necessarily set up as let's have a good match. This was more set up as let's make Kairi look like a badass, and it succeeded.
Yeah, dude. First of all, just to kind of retread the ground that you laid about Aaliyah, I completely agree with you. I liked what I saw from her. I like the intensity. And I feel like when she plays the heel, like there's something there. But to me, what it comes down to is pretty much what you said. It comes down to the word commitment. Like you have got to commit to that role 100% because I feel like it's so consistently inconsistent. But if we get commitment there from Aaliyah, I think she could really flourish. I'd be curious what would happen if we really gave Aaliyah a discernible, like identifiable gimmick as a heel and we just let her run with it because I do think she's solid in there. I mean, she's been in the Performance Center long enough, right? And here's the thing. Not only has she been in the Performance Center, it's not like she gets regular spots like a Lacey Evans or even a Vanessa Bourne. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know that if she's spending that time off screen, she's probably going to the promo classes. She's going to the gym. Like you said, she slimmed down. So I don't want to give up on Aaliyah. I think we even talked about her a few weeks back. I don't want to give up on this woman. In fact, just the opposite. I think if we just get her to commit in the direction of character and really give her that test, I could see her pass. Look, if Lacey Evans is passing by NXT standards, I don't see why Aaliyah couldn't. That's just my 2 cents. Focusing on Kyrie, and you know what? I'm not going to invoke Goodfellow here because this wasn't sweet Kyrie. This was the closest to Doku that we've gotten since she's gotten here. She beat that ass, and like I gotta say, man. And again, I'll unpack this more on Thursday. I got to be careful with my tongue here because I don't want to get like too much. But I think Kyrie needed this. We needed to see this Kyrie, in my opinion, to get hyped about her match with Shayna this Saturday. Because personally, like I think people were still looking forward to it. But I think relative to other TakeOver Women's Championship matches, people were kind of maybe thinking like, oh, it'll be good enough. But it won't be like in that stratosphere of like, oh, that was a great match. I believe in these women to put on a great match. I feel like how much Shayna has grown since the Mae Young Classic and seeing this Kyrie like almost consumed by the thought, I know I can beat you, you know I can beat you, and now she has to go out there and prove it. Like I think the forces are in place. The table is set to go out there and have a great takeover match. And when you see her hit 3 insane elbows and not even stop there, but apply the anchor, I think people needed to see that Kyrie, because I'm going to be truthful. Shayna, and I mean this as a compliment to Shayna, Shayna is so legitimate with her credentials and her background. I could see people looking at Kyrie, who won the Mae Young Classic at Shayna's expense, as the underdog in this match. Like, I could see people being like, yeah, Kyrie's the one at a disadvantage. I think Kyrie showing that intensity shows that she can hang in there with Shayna and she can give her that compelling fight. And I think that for a match that wasn't meant, like in your words again, because I think you summed it up perfectly, it wasn't meant to be a good match. It was meant to narratively drive home.
Yeah.
This is the most ready Kyrie's ever been to be NXT Women's Champion, and she can topple Shayna Baszler to do it. And credit to Shayna. See, this is what I'm saying when like I want to give Shayna credit, especially because like I get frustrated with Ronda at times and like that whole thing. I loved that she gave Kyrie her full attention when she didn't pin Aaliyah and she kept going for the elbow drops and then the anchor. She stood up, looked right at Kyrie, took the headset off, didn't say a goddamn word. That said everything, because for Shayna to be transfixed by Kyrie's aggression, that tells me that she's not talking about a pretend pirate. She's not talking about somebody that she's beaten before, which she has. She's looking at her challenger for her championship, and she's taking it 100% seriously. And that, with how much shit Shayna talks about everybody else, for her to watch Kyrie in silence, that's how you put a babyface over when you're a heel like Shayna Baszler. So I have to give her credit too. Like I'm honestly hyped for this match. I'm putting all my faith in these two women. I want them to go out and tear the fucking roof off the place. And if this is the Kyrie we're gonna get, and if Shayna just shows up and does what Shayna does, I'm really looking forward to it, dude. I think it's gonna be amazing. So Kyrie wins with the anchor. I love this. I think her character needed this for a long time.
Dude, and I love that not only did she win with the anger, but she also pulled out a really, really devastating stretch muffler in this match. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, dude. Like, this was the closest, like, to a Brock Lesnar. Oh, she mauled that ass, dude. And she still looked adorable doing it. Like, that's even more terrifying. It's like, yeah, I'm cute and cuddly, but I will fucking eviscerate you if you cross me. And it's like, wait, are you Kyrie or are you Doku right now? I'm both. This is my final form. Oh, dear God. I am so hyped. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about it, dude. And I agree with you. Like, the women's segment tonight deserves so much love. And that's all I got to say about it. Unless you have anything you want to add, we can move on.
No, man. I think we both kind of said our piece. This is a great match and a great moment for Kyrie with the pointing while in the elbow, pointing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh my
So
God, she has
good.
her that anchor, and she's just like you.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it. It was amazing. So up next, we got a video package for Adam Cole versus Ricochet. Again, I love that we're getting these video packages because they were kind of highlighting and kind of like in the background, they were touching on Black Gargano Ciampa and that whole thing all night. Like they opened with it, and we got the big like who done it video package towards the end of the show. So it was kind of a constant thing in the back of your mind. We had the Undisputed Era promo, plus they closed the show with the singles match, the main event. We got Kyrie and Aaliyah, where Kyrie got to point at Shayna and kind of do the intimidating stuff and be like, "Hey, bitch, I can go toe to toe with you, even at submission wrestling." We got Adam Cole versus Ricochet in a video package. And then we did get Dream later on, but right now let's just talk about this Adam Cole Ricochet video package. Adam Cole talks about how great his first year in NXT has been, and who could deny that? But then Ricochet talks about how he is going to revolutionize the wrestling business. And man, more power to him for believing it, but it really is going to take the right people to be behind him on the main roster, and it can't be on 205 Live because you ain't revolutionizing shit on Tuesday nights.
No, you need the platform. You need the platform and the people that believe in you to seize the platform. Now, if he has all that, can he do it? Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, like, Neville could have done it too. And he got fucked over so bad, he straight up walked out and still, to this day, has not completely finished his WWE contract and is basically being held hostage by the company for that reason.
I mean, dude, here's the thing. It's almost scary, like, seeing Ricochet, because I'm really glad you brought up Neville, because there was a guy in Neville when he won the NXT championship at the expense of Bo Dallas, I believe at the very first takeover.
Yeah.
John Cena raised his fucking arm. Like,
dude, that wasn't even a takeover. That was the first ever NXT live special. That was NXT Arrival.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was before takeover even became a thing.
Yeah. And like John Cena
was in a ladder match too.
Yeah. And John Cena raised his arm in victory, and it's like, man, they are positioning this guy to be something special, and then it just never.
Well, dude, the thing is, like, even when he got to the main roster, he was doing some good things. Like, he had an amazing match with John Cena. He had an amazing match with Seth Rollins. He was getting huge pops for almost winning championships. They just never pulled the trigger on him. And then when the cruiserweight division came a calling, Neville didn't have anything else to do, so they sent him down to 205. And that was like, at 205 Live is like a trap. It's like you can't get out. Once you go there, you're stuck there. Nobody has ever gone to 205 Live and lived to see Raw or SmackDown afterwards. The only exception I can think of, which is kind of a strange exception because he's kind of still irrelevant, is Sin Cara.
Yeah. Yeah. And even Cedric Alexander, the current cruiserweight champion, even says that he wishes he could intermingle with more Raw and SmackDown talent. And if he's thinking it, a lot of other talents are thinking it. My heart breaks every time I see Hideo doing like vicious shit when I want to see him do it to like AJ Styles or Rusev or whatever. And Neville had the same fate to bring it full circle. So when I think about Ricochet to bring, the circle fully complete now, he has all the talent, but if they don't believe in you to showcase it where you want to showcase it, because we've said, and look, let's be honest, we've said that Ricochet has an ego. I don't blame him for having an ego when you're that talented. You think his ego is going to tolerate being on 205 Live? So, like, I hope he's prepared for whatever comes post NXT, because it may not be something he likes. And I'm not saying that maliciously. I mean, we've seen it, so, but yeah, he absolutely has the ability to. Adam Cole, talking about like how the North American Championship is the most important championship because he holds it. I love it. I love the confidence this fucking man has. He really is the embodiment of the man making the championship. I know Ciampa says he's the same, and I would agree with that too. But Cole, I mean, we've talked about his charisma. It's undeniable. I know we have our shtick, you and I mean, especially with the cult of Cole and everything, and he is incredible, but my God, here's the thing, dude. Cole is so good. I saw him talking in this package, and mentally in my mind, I swapped the North American Championship with the WWE Championship, and it didn't feel a bit out of place. I mean, this dude is destined to me for great fucking things. And yeah, like this video package really did make this bout between these two seem important. I mean, anything else you want to say about it, man?
No, this is just a really well done video package. And like you said, I think you actually said it best. It made both guys seem important. That's what you really want to do with this. And again, it's the go home show. So keeping this stuff fresh in everyone's minds is important as well.
Absolutely. So with that said, what came after this?
Velveteen Dream.
Oh man. All right, man. Walk us through it. What did you think
Well,
of all this?
he comes out and he opens up saying that, it's funny, and talking to the Full Sail crowd, actually, he said, it's funny that you all cheer for me. And you know what else is funny is EC3. EC3 is so smart. EC3 is so clever and so very, very charming. But then we started getting NX3 chants. And Dream says, oh, and like all of you, EC3 had the Dream's curiosity, but now EC3 has the Dream's attention. On Saturday, it'll be Dream over. And then EC3's music hits. But before we even get to EC3, I just want to say, what the fuck was going on with the Full Sail crowd that they were being so disrespectful to the Velveteen Dream during this promo? Like when he was trying to say EC3 had Dream's curiosity and attention and then Dream over, they were chanting EC3, or NX3, and then they started chanting Velveteen. But then there were people in the crowd that booed the people that were chanting Velveteen, and they started taking it over again with NX3. Like, is this constant booking the Velveteen Dream in tweener feuds where he's like kind of getting cheered, but then also going against guys that the crowd likes too? Like, is that seriously damaging his character?
It could be, dude. I was honestly kind of floored by Full Sail turning on him like this. I mean, I know you and I have called out Full Sail in the past for being cancer, and to be honest, if I wanted to be petty during our Heat of the Night segment, then their reaction in this segment would have been a nitpick for me. But I feel like that would have been a bit much. But I was just like, wow. Especially with a guy that's still newer in a way in EC3 to turn on Velveteen like this really left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know, dude. I wonder, and here's the thing, like, I know it's very basic psychology, so I wonder if it's still legitimate psychology at the same time, but I wonder if because Dream, like, he didn't win the feud with Ricochet, he didn't win the feud with Aleister Black, whatever, even though he told amazing stories, I wonder if people are, like, losing faith in him in a way that he can win big matches, which, again, I'll have more to say about that tomorrow for preview and predictions. But, like, I hope it's not damaging his character, but what can I say when the evidence is right in front of my face? Like, there was a Velveteen chant at one point, but then it quickly got retaken over by NX3, and that was incredibly disheartening to me. Like, I want this guy. Like, you know what I've been saying to you. I want this guy to be fully embraced as a face, and then he goes and he does some main event feuds. But if this tweener crap has kind of left him with this, where, like, the flavor of the month can come in and, kind of take all of that adulation, all of that pop, if you will, that just really doesn't sit right with me personally. So I don't know, dude. It's concerning.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't really want to say that the crowd is wrong either, because I mean, if the reaction continues at other venues, which it might, I mean, it's possible that other venues could be just as hostile towards Dream, considering he really was pretty clearly playing the heel here. I just have grown so used to him playing the heel and the crowd loving him regardless that it was definitely jarring. But all that said, and as much as it pains me to even come out with this, EC3 is over as hell.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing. Like, I'm mad about EC3, but that doesn't give me license to tell an entire crowd, oh, you're wrong, oh, you're stupid. I hate people like that. I feel like our platform, like, I want to be better than that. But, like, genuinely, and I'm asking sincerely, I wonder what it is about EC3 that people like. I wonder if it's, like, his brand of charisma, with the catchphrases and stuff that they gravitate to. If he is, and again, I'm asking sincerely, no malice, if he is just another theme song competitor like Bobby Roode was, I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Dude, and here's the good news about that, because my biggest problem with Bobby Roode with the whole theme song thing was that he was supposed to be a heel and the crowd cheered him anyway. At least EC3 is actually supposed to be a face. You're supposed to cheer for him, and Dream is supposed to be the heel in this match, and that was made all the more clear by this segment in particular, because I think they did a really good job in this segment of really kind of drawing the lines and being like, listen, guys, Dream is the heel, EC3 is the face. React how you want, but we're just letting you know that's how they're aligned for now. And like the crowd actually reacted accordingly. And I was actually kind of, I was surprised more than anything, because I feel like Dream has done enough to earn the respect to not be interrupted during his promos. But I still, it's really, in a roundabout way, it's still a good thing that the crowd was like that, because it was almost like, it's like when Elias does his thing and the crowds are booing him and not letting him get a word out edgewise and stuff. I just didn't think that would happen to Dream, because it was, I think I thought that he was one of those guys that, like, especially Full Sail, they kind of see him as like one of their own, and they like love him and they're going to cheer for him no matter what. But EC3 and this feud has proven me wrong on that.
Yeah, man, for sure. EC3 comes out and he pretty much says, he does the victory after victory, and the crowd actually goes along with him. Victory after victory after victory. And then Dream says, victory after victory after victory, right? No. And then he gets yes chanted out. So, he got that legit heat. I mean, I guess I should be looking at the glass half full kind of thing, because like you said, he very clearly was playing the heel. And then he said, the way it's going to end is Dream over. And then EC3 is like, well, we don't have to wait till Brooklyn. And he takes his shirt off. And then Dream, what was it? He threw something for EC3 to catch.
Yeah. He was taking his jacket off, and then he looked like he tweaked his shoulder. Like he was grabbing at his shoulder like he tweaked it, but then that was just like the distraction, because then he threw the jacket at EC3 and attacked him.
Right. You know what, too? And I'm even thinking about the Velveteen character. It's going to be a fun Thursday, guys, because I'm sure me and Ash have a lot to say just thinking about that. But yeah, EC3 gets the upper hand because, Velveteen was going for that follow-through Death Valley driver. EC3 sneaks out, gets a couple right hands, and then he hits the 1%, the spinning TKO, and he stands over Dream. I gotta give the guys credit. Oh yeah, EC3 also did insult Velveteen's fanny pack, and the fanny pack chant got going. So yeah, EC3's really got that touch with this crowd, at least tonight, where it was like when The Rock used to cut promos, where he's like, I'm gonna get this crowd to chant "you are" and this F to chant "asshole," and they do it. I hate to make that parallel because it's EC freaking 3, but yeah, he said fanny pack and then the crowd latched onto it, man. Damn. But yeah, this feud has definitely been quirky. It's had its hamminess, and I don't even say that in a bad way. I think it needed to be hammy. I even said that last week. And yeah, I'm not hating on this match as much as I was, knowing that it is Dream, and I feel like he always has the best feud. I don't think I could give him that award this time for obvious reasons, but it should still be a fun affair. And again, we'll unpack it more on Thursday. So in the meantime, I've got nothing else to say about this unless you do. Move on.
All right, man. Well, after the EC3 Dream stuff, we did get a sort of update on the Aleister Black situation from Kelly. This was Kelly. We were actually having a discussion in the Discord regarding, the whole divas versus women stuff, and Kelly got brought up, so that's probably why she was on my mind. But this was Kathy Kelly, far superior in every way. And Kathy Kelly does the investigation. This was on WWE's YouTube channel and probably on their social media as well. But I like that they integrated it into the show tonight, because it keeps the Aleister Black assault and then the Ciampa Gargano match hype going on, and it keeps it all in the back of our minds. It was, her going over all of the possible suspects. So, John, I mean, we're not going to really get too deep into this, but do you have an opinion? I'm not going to actually say any names, and I don't want you to either. We'll talk about it more tomorrow during our preview, but do you have any opinions on who you think actually did assault and take out Aleister Black?
I'm just going to say yes and save the rest for Thursday.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have some theories.
But yeah, she goes over all the names. First one that we see is Gargano. Then we see Lars in the background, and then Heavy Machinery and the Undisputed Era driving away from the scene. And then there are a bunch of different angles, and we see everyone. We see Fabian Eichner and Cesar Bononi. We see Kona Reeves. We see Velveteen Dream. We see Candice LeRae and Shayna Baszler and Cassius Ohno. And we see Ciampa walking away, holding the title. And we see all kinds of different people that are possible suspects. And I have got my list narrowed down to 3 names, and we'll talk about that more tomorrow during preview and predictions. So you guys are just going to have to stay tuned for that. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And now we will talk about what happened next, which was actually not the main event yet. It was the Gargano Ciampa video package, which was just mind-bogglingly amazing. This, like, Ciampa's facial expressions and the way that he cuts these just snide little promos, he is, without a doubt, in my mind, the best heel in wrestling today.
Dude, undeniable.
Like, I know a lot of people are like one of the best heels. I don't give a shit about one of. He is number one, the best in my eyes.
I mean, dude, he gets it. To me, he just gets it. Like, he gets that in this day and age, you don't have to stop playing the heel when the logo flashes on the screen. Like, he's a heel on social media, which I love. He doesn't have any merch on WWE Shop, which I love. Like, he fundamentally understands. If I'm hated, then I'm hated. There's no qualifier to that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm hated, but buy my shirt on WWE Shop. Or I'm hated. Oh, hey, come catch me at this Access autograph signing. Like, he understands I'm a heel, motherfucker. You shouldn't want my autograph. And to be quite honest, I don't want to give you my autograph because you're a sniveling little shit stain. You know, he understands that to be hated means unequivocally to be hated. And I love him for that, dude. I think that's precisely why, in my opinion, that he is what you say he is. And that's the best heel in wrestling today. So any other thoughts you want to share on the video package? Because I just had to pipe in there with that.
It was just amazing. And the way that this story has been told is something that is really unique in wrestling right now. And it's something that more wrestling companies should be aspiring towards. And I'll even say WWE's main roster should be aspiring to it. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, even just backtracking a little bit, that moment that we had tonight with Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler, that is some NXT shit that we will never in our lives see on the main roster, despite the fact that I guarantee you it would work just as well on the main roster as it does in NXT.
Absolutely. And it's really a shame that, like, and you could tell with the way they've been handling Andrade up until now, like up until recently, ever since the match with AJ, that the people that matter on the main roster don't watch the NXT product.
Yeah.
Because if they did, like, dude, and I'm not even saying this
And just to be clear, guys, when he says the people on the main roster, he doesn't even necessarily mean the performers. He actually means management.
Yeah. Yeah. Management. The people that, you know, hold the fates.
The decision makers, like Vince and like Kevin Dunn and those folks. Like, they don't give a shit about NXT. They might watch like the occasional takeover, but for the most part, they don't pay attention to NXT at all. And if you need further proof of that, look no further than some of the entities, and I say entities because it's both individuals and tag teams, some of the entities that have been called up since WrestleMania 34 and the absolute nothing that they've been given to do and the terribly incorrect way that they've been portrayed. AOP, Sanity, even Ember Moon, I feel like hasn't been given enough. You know, there's a lot of issues on the main roster with the transition from NXT. And I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that once they get called up, the people who are in charge on the main roster just don't know what to do with them because they haven't had the exposure to what they did in NXT.
Yeah. And that's on them. Like, that's what aggravates me because it doesn't have to be that way. Like, when it's your product and you know people are coming up to enhance your product, do your fucking homework. It's like hiring somebody without reading their resume. You know what I mean? Like, why bring somebody on board if you have no idea what they're about? What's your character? What's your strengths? What's your weaknesses? What was your biggest highlight in NXT? Like, I'd set up something where, like, if we were calling somebody up, I'd have a preliminary interview, put together your own portfolio of your favorite NXT moments, as well as, you know, be self-critical. You know, what are some of your flaws? Which, of course, obviously, I'd have a third party do that part because I know we can't always be honest. And then I'd do my fucking homework. And the idea that they don't, it's such a crying shame because you look at Tommaso Ciampa. Dude, I look at Tommaso Ciampa and I look at a guy that could get like the heat that I think Brock Lesnar's starting to get by just straight up saying, I don't give a fuck. But he could get that heat just by showing up every week and by being Tommaso Ciampa. Like, This is a guy, and I'm saying this totally seriously, this is a guy more than a Brock Lesnar to me, because I get it. Brock Lesnar has the aesthetic and as Paul Heyman always likes to say, the box office appeal. But if you're just looking for that guy that you're going to take on the road with you and that's a part of your product, this is the guy you build a brand around. Because this guy, everybody's going to be itching for every babyface and even every person that you want to turn babyface. This is the guy everybody's going to be itching for those people to beat the ass of and take the title from. Like you've always talked about, and I know you've said, I think you even had this sentiment like before we even met, because I always loved like getting in your mind with the blog and stuff. It's always great to have a heel champion like Ciampa's the NXT champion, because that drives ticket sales. That drives interest, because you say to yourself, is tonight the night he's going to get beat?
Yep.
This guy can do that. I honestly would love to see if this guy could get Roman Reigns genuinely cheered. I mean, at this point, I kind of doubt it, because you could see.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that Ciampa is like, he is like so hated, but there's also such a respect there for him as a performer that if you would put him against Roman, he'd still end up getting cheered, because there's a lack of respect for Roman as a performer.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, to bring it full circle back to this video package, because you just had that aside about Ciampa, which I don't blame you, because the dude, he's fucking undeniable. I love it. I love that this feud has gone the places it's gone. I have some reservations, but I'll address those on Thursday, because that's more specific to the to the takeover show. So I'm just gonna leave that there. But I will say, man, like, this video package was great. I don't know who works on these, if it's just the Full Sail like students in production, if it's like a media team specific to NXT, whoever it is, between the Ricochet and Adam Cole video package and then this shit tonight, like, get your fucking money. Get paid. Get that palm greased, because goddamn, like, it's video packages like this that give me goosebumps for shows. And that's why I hate that, like, kickoffs always air them beforehand, because I still am a kid at heart in a lot of ways about wrestling. You even said to me the other night that I always find a way to bring things back to wrestling. I guess because it was like my first real childhood love, right? And it's never left me. And I see video packages like this, and I'm reminded, because I'm like, yeah, let's do this fucking match, you know? Like, you get into it. And Gargano, I need to say something about Johnny here, because I know Johnny Scumbag, oh, he doesn't deserve to be saved, blah, 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 blah. But I've also said on here, very seriously, he's one of the best baby faces that we have. And I stand by it, because now what makes him further entrenched in that title is his complexity. The idea that he can be wrong and own being wrong and admit that, like, I'm not okay right now. Like, there's something so powerful about that to me, when a babyface can say, I'm not okay. Because we rarely hear that, right? Like, John Cena's just like, oh, I'm going to dust myself off, I'm going to get back up. But, like, getting up shouldn't be easy. Like, you had your footing, you thought things were going to go your way, and then you lost it. And sometimes getting up sucks. And I love that Johnny can be honest about that and be like, my favorite moment in this video package, dude, honestly, you talked about Tommaso's facial expressions. I thought Johnny had a fucking great one when he said Tommaso Ciampa's champion. And he didn't even say it like that angry, because of me. No, he said it very somber in the video package. Tommaso Ciampa's champion because of me. And then he looks off into the distance, like off to the side. And the look on his face is like, oh my God, what have I done? Like, oh my God, I've done something so terrible. Like, I've crossed that moral boundary where, like, will I ever be clean again? Will I ever be redeemed again? Like, there's so much in that expression. But I feel like I've been talking a lot, dude. What were some other highlights for you about the video package? Or did you just enjoy, like, the general tone of it all?
No, see, I really, honestly, there's actually a lot that I want to say about this video package, and I'm honestly probably going to end up saving most of it for tomorrow, because some of it ties into another discussion we're going to have tomorrow, and we'll talk about that then. But Gargano kind of going down the path of darkness is really interesting to me, and Ciampa just being the best heel in the world to me right now it's to put it in a single word, it's Kino. Do you know what Kino is?
No, my friend.
I'm going to define it for you.
Sweet. You're educating me on a word. How does this feel?
Oh, yeah. Or it's Urban Dictionary. Here we go. Urban Dictionary. Kino, the highest tier of artistry, and it specifically says in motion pictures, but it can definitely apply to other things as well. It says Kino is above all other categories, so it's like the top-notch thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man. That's the thing, is like when you learn certain words that mean things to you, it's hard to think of other words to describe those things. So I'm just going to call it pure wrestling Kino, because to me, that's what it is. It's just the best.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. What came after this video package?
All right, up next, we did in fact get. Oh no, you know what? I'm jumping the gun again. I'm getting ready to say main event, but that's not what we had next. We did have a Bianca Belair training montage, training for her return from her worked injury. Really, she's just returning from her honeymoon, though. So it's cool to see that we're going to be seeing her soon. I would guess within the next week to 3 weeks at most.
Yeah, I would think so too, man.
And we also find out that next week we are going to be getting Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson for the UK. Oh, you, John. We're going to add that. We're going to add that to our preview predictions for tomorrow and include that as if it was a takeover match, because it's a UK title match. It's a big deal. And we are not going to be reviewing next week's NXT. So we're going to just preview that. We're going to predict that match on tomorrow's preview predictions as well.
Dude, I kind of squeaked a little bit there when you were talking. I apologize. It's just
because Gibson's going to be on NXT for once.
Well, dude, Gibson's going to be on NXT, and Pete Dunne is undeniably talented. I know I've been using that word a lot, but like we've got so many talented people in wrestling right now. I don't even care. Like the match they had on the United Kingdom Championship show was a match of the year contender for me, and it may very well end up taking my match of the year. I mean, we're still a little ways away from that. To know that they're going to have a rematch, oh my God, I'm not even ashamed to say that, like, I'm looking forward to that than even some of the matches on the TakeOver card itself. Like, I can't wait for these guys to fucking own it again, and we will get more into, like, unpacking and stuff like that tomorrow, so I'll be good, I'll behave myself, but yeah, man, it's going to be amazing. I smiled so freaking wide when I saw that. So... Yeah. Now did we get our main event?
Now we get to our main event, Tyler Bate versus Roderick Strong. And, you know, I don't think Paul's around anymore, and I'm guessing that's because he's probably sleeping, because it's like, but it's either 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning where he is. But the first message in live chat was him saying, I know I'll probably miss this episode, so I just wanted to share a revelation I had during this main event, that I'd been underrating Tyler Bate. I just thought that he was only a wrestling prodigy. And I am 100% with you, Paul. Tyler Bate is so much more than a wrestling prodigy, because to call him a prodigy implies that he's not already absolutely incredible. And he is. He is exceptional. I legitimately think that in the ring, he is on par with, or maybe even a little better than, the likes of AJ Styles.
Yeah, dude. I was telling you, like, because we had a little bit of time to decompress after watching NXT. The kid's only 21, and I say kid because in this industry, like, he still is so young.
Oh, absolutely.
And like in 4 years' time, when he's 25, even, it terrifies me to think about how good he can be. Because I told you the only weakness I see in Tyler Bate is, I think, just from the little bit that I've tasted, maybe I'm even wrong about this, but from the little bit I've seen, I think the talking could use some work, but maybe he could even be, and I know I told you this, like a Daniel Bryan type, where maybe he won't cut the best promo necessarily, but he'll always speak with believability and sincerity. And I think, you know, if you've got that, you've really got it made if you want a babyface. And I think WWE is always looking for that next great babyface. You know, I joked with you that the cameraman deserves a raise because we got some great shots of Tyler Bate's thighs tonight, which I was not complaining about, because I'm like, God damn, what is your workout regimen? Tell me, let me know. Why do you go where I can't follow, Tyler? Why? But in ring, dude's a freaking beast. And Roderick, dude, the backbreakers. I'm
telling you, man, like, each member of the Undisputed Era has their role. Adam Cole is like the franchise. He is like the cornerstone that you build your team around. Kyle O'Reilly is like the goofball who can beat your ass if you cross him. Roderick Strong is the workhorse, and then Bobby Fish is like the coach, basically. But yeah, like, Roderick Strong is absolutely the workhorse of the Undisputed Era. He is unbelievable.
Yeah, man, abso-freaking-lutely. This match was great. Great back and forth between these two. I mean, the backbreakers that Roderick was getting off, the dude has me giving a shit about backbreakers. Like, again, he's an innovator. He's an innovator, and he's so damn good. Again, Tyler Bate, 21, and as legit as he is in that ring, they tore it down. Definitely looking forward to this tag match at Brooklyn. And the only reason I always hate these go home TWitWoW reviews is I want to talk about the matches right now, but we gotta wait, and you guys gotta wait, and it's just everybody's gotta wait. But yeah, this match was great. Trent Seven got into it with Kyle O'Reilly. Then Roderick Strong kind of did a baseball slide, like, legs out to Trent Seven. But then him and Tyler Bate kept going at it. And Tyler Bate ultimately did catch Roderick at a point in the match with the Tyler Driver 97. And Tyler Bate gets the win. So Mustache Mountain gets a little bit of momentum before TakeOver Brooklyn 4 this Saturday. I thought it was a great main event to go out on. I can't say any more than that. Unless you do, Ashton, we can move on to our next segment.
All right, man. Well, our next segment is...
Well, before that, it's high spots and low shots, as you guys know. But before that, let me just get our plugs out of the way. First and foremost, guys, follow Ashton and myself on Twitter. My pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions. Q&A is August 30th. You have 2 weeks exactly, because it's after midnight here in the U.S., to submit your Q&A questions. The way you can submit your questions, reply to my pinned tweet, because, again, that's its purpose, is to collect Q&A questions. DM me. But if you don't really deal with Twitter, you can inbox our Facebook page. And when you're visiting the TWitWoW Facebook page, be sure to leave it a like. You can comment on this video when it's done processing, or you can message your questions in the Discord. More on that later. That's my pinned tweet. Everybody gets 4 questions per Q&A. You can divide them up however you like. And again, that's August 30th. So get your questions in if you haven't already. Ashton's pinned tweet, I think, is of immense importance. That's the TWitWoW schedule. We just got through the G1. We did another G1, baby. But we still have a little bit of residual stuff. I mean, obviously, TakeOver Brooklyn 4 is this Saturday and SummerSlam's this Sunday. You guys know that TakeOver Brooklyn 4 preview predictions is tomorrow at 8 p.m. EDT, and SummerSlam preview predictions is 9 p.m. EDT on Friday. But, there's stuff like the week after that you want to keep abreast of. And when we get into the fall months, because I guarantee you there'll be Patreon requests will be fulfilling and stuff like that. You're going to want to keep your finger on the pulse at all times of what TWitWoW is doing. So go to Ashton's pinned tweet and follow the schedule regularly. He's always updating it when we're going to add commentaries, redact commentaries, and everything in between. Keep your finger on the pulse. Check that pinned tweet. Get your TWitWoW schedule. With that said, I plug all those 3 things. Be sure to check out the TWitWoW Teespring store. We have a whole litany of merchandise. We have TWitWoW specific merch. I'm a TWitWoW guy. I'm a TWitWoW girl. We have Scum Squad merch. We have, Scum Squad stickers and mugs to drink the tears of your enemies, which is always my favorite beverage. And yeah, just all sorts of merch, even wrestling specific merch. Braun Strowman, I'm not finished with you. And Emma's the real face of the women's revolution. So yeah, check out all of our offerings on Teespring. Some great swag to support your favorite podcast. And the last thing I want to plug, guys, is the Patreon. We've changed up the tier a little bit here. We are no longer doing Progress Live reactions for the foreseeable future. So here's how it goes. And above, but not above 80, that's 205 live reactions. $80 and above, but below 120, that's SmackDown live reactions. And then 120, because 40 and 80 is 120. You get both in a package deal, SmackDown Live and 205 live reactions. And we're doing both for the month of August. And I want to thank all of our patrons for making that possible. We did a poll. You guys said you wanted us to do SmackDown and 205 Live, and you have shown it with your generosity, with your donations, and that means the world to us. If you want to keep that up because you're thinking to yourself, well, John and Ash are reacting to Leo Rush and 205 Live is great, and them reacting to AJ Styles being outed as a shit husband on SmackDown Live is great. Why not both? You're like that girl in them, and why not both? And then you're the hero of your village because you realize, yes, you can have both. And how can you have both? By maintaining our $120 goal on Patreon. But how can I do that? Donate $3 to get access to the TWitWoW Discord. I think it's a great community. All the most passionate TWitWoW fans are there. We talk everything from Raw, SmackDown, their pay-per-views, New Japan, Game of Thrones, video games, music, and everything under the sun. It's all right there in the TWitWoW Discord. And again, you get to submit your Q&A questions there, so you kind of get that privilege there because it's like, oh, I have this place to submit my questions to. I'll get a seniority kind of thing. And I always call it a win-win-win-win because not only are you getting to be a part of a great community, not only are you getting to support what we do, because again, your donations allow us to produce content. like SmackDown Live and 205 Live reactions. But if you're thinking to yourself, this needs more me, you get it. Because at $3 a month, if you stay in the Discord, I always use the formula 10 months, comes out to $30. You can cash that in for a live reaction to a 3-hour show of your choosing. We've done Patreon requests on the channel. You can check them out, see for yourself how we do, kind of get your finger on the pulse of, oh, what are these Patreon requests, commentaries like? And you could be like, yeah, you know what? I want that. I want to get in on that. I want to be a contributor to Team TWitWoW and help them with their projects. And yeah, it's all right there for you guys. Just donate $3. You stay in the Discord long enough and you get that content control. It could be anything from a horrible TNA or WCW show to an amazing WWE or New Japan show from years past. And we've gotten everything in between. So yeah, guys, be sure to donate. It would mean the world to us if you could. And again, I think you get a lot out of it. With that said, we can move on to high spots and low shots. And I got to say, for as much as I hate to say it, my low shot is going to be Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Because the crowd seemed to turn on him and EC3 laid him out. Not much more to say than that. Partner, who's your low shot?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to give my low shot to the Mighty. Unfortunately, they did. They lost tonight, and they lost in a way that they've been beating people with. So it's like, oh well, when other teams are willing to do to you what you've been doing to them, suddenly now you're losing. So it's going to be an interesting development to see how they decide to counteract other teams picking up on their strategy.
Absolutely, completely agree with that. Moving right along with the high spot. You know what? I gotta give it because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to give it again. I can't look a gift horse in the mouth. My high spot's Kairi Sane. Kairi, you were amazing tonight. I loved it. I love the intensity. I love that she whooped that ass. Just absolutely incredible to me. 3 insane elbows. The anchor pointing at Shayna. It was a segment she needed. It was a segment I think that gave her momentum before TakeOver Brooklyn 4 and credibility in the eyes of a lot of people that thought that maybe that Shayna had outpaced her in their time at NXT. I think Kairi's ready for this fight, and I can't wait to talk about this match more for our preview and predictions tomorrow at 8 p.m. EDT. You guys got to be there. I think there are going to be some great discussions, but for now, Kairi is my high spot.
All right, man, that makes a ton of sense, and you kind of gave me a little bit of a layup over here. My high spot's going to be Tyler Bate, or as you like to call him, Thyler Bate.
Yes, I love him.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's a great performer. He had a great match tonight, and most importantly, he won in a match against one of the opponents that he's going to be trying to win titles from on Saturday. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like that momentum, man.
Yeah. Dude, abso-freaking-lutely. I completely agree. With that said, do you have any concluding remarks about NXT tonight?
I sure don't. Let's close it out, brother.
All right, man. With that said, this has been NXT. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my coordinate commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment on this video when it's done processing. How hyped are you for TakeOver Brooklyn 4? Who are your favorites going into the show on Saturday? You can also have that conversation tomorrow for our preview and predictions. But just to get in your mind a little early, what did you think of tonight's show? Who did you think got momentum going into Brooklyn 4? Who do you think you're backing right now? Do you think your mind will change before Saturday? Do you think that this Kairi Sane could beat Shayna Baszler? Talk to us, talk to us, talk to us. Be sure to like the video. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for NXT reviews on YouTube. When you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong, so please leave that like. Subscribe to your new favorite wrestling podcast if you haven't. And for the diehard TWitWoW fans that I know kick themselves because they're like, oh, Q&A, I missed it. Oh, NXT review, damn it. You don't have to miss it anymore. If you click the bell icon, you'll get notifications for every time we go live with a new video. And then you could be like, oh my God, I'm on time for once, which I've actually seen people in our chat say, and it is the cutest fucking thing. I adore you people, seriously. So always be sure to stay on top of your TWitWoW game. Click that bell icon, and of course, it's an excellent pairing with Ashton's TWitWoW schedule. Make sure you never miss a commentary again or die. I mean, not really, but James will probably make something happen. So yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, get notified. And until then, we will see you again tomorrow, 8 p.m. EDT, one final time for TakeOver Brooklyn 4 preview and predictions. I am really excited for the conversations that Ash and I are going to have on both preview and prediction shows. And yeah, it starts with TakeOver, guys. So be sure to be there. Until then, tune in and peace out.